And thank you for joining us for KRON 4 News tonight at 8. I'm Pam Moore.
And I'm Ken Wayne. Just about 90 minutes ago, you might have felt it, especially if you live in the North Bay. A 4.4 earthquake shook Sonoma County. Here's a look at the epicenter in Santa Rosa. This is just east of Highway 101, north of Highway 12, a little bit south of the Fountain Grove area of Santa Rosa. 4.4, and a number of aftershocks took place as well. You can see on the screen the depth of 5 miles, and it struck at 6:39 p.m. tonight. A lot of people felt it in and around Santa Rosa, all the way down to San Bruno. We're joined now on the phone by Robert Michael de Groot, the ShakeAlert System Coordinator for the U.S. Geological Survey.
Hello, Can you hear us, Mr. de Groot?
I totally can. Hello.
All right. First, let's start with the fact that some people did not actually get the ShakeAlert before the quake hit. Some got it during the quake. Some didn't get it at all. Can you tell us what was happening with that?
Yes, definitely. So one of the things that happens is it depends largely on how far a person is away from where the earthquake reaches the surface, the epicenter. So if you're super close, then generally you can receive an alert before or during or after the shaking begins. So if you're very close, typically you'll get an alert while the shaking is going on or even after it happens. But the important thing is if you feel shaking, you should do the same thing if you feel shaking. If you get an alert, take that protective action, drop cover and hold on.
So I guess what we're getting at, though, is if you lived in Santa Rosa and you got the alert while the quake was taking place, did the alert do its job?
It absolutely did, and so the ShakeAlert system has to go through certain steps in order for the alerts to actually be generated. There must be a detection of the earthquake on the surface. We don't know the earthquake is happening until it does reach the surface, and then there's got to be some processing time. I mean, when all is said and done with this, the USGS issued its information for the alert within about 5 seconds after the earthquake was detected. That's pretty fast. Speaking of which, we have to figure out what's going on in those few seconds to be able to get the alerts out.
Help us understand, and I was talking with our meteorologist about this, but the difference and significance of a shallow quake versus a deep one. This quake was, we're told, about 5 miles deep. It certainly was felt much more because it was shallow, but how does that differ from a quake that's much deeper in depth?
Well, there are a lot of factors that influence what one feels during an earthquake. One of the things, of course, is the type of ground that you're standing on, and depth is also a factor. In many cases, when quakes are very shallow, you're right that a lot more people feel it, and they feel much more intense shaking if they're closer to the surface, if the earthquake is closer to the surface, because one of the factors that determines what you feel during an earthquake is how close you are to that earthquake. And if you're closer, you'll feel more shaking.
I have the ShakeAlert on my phone, but I neglected to input my home address on my phone, so I didn't get any notification. So I guess it's a reminder that, first of all, you should download the ShakeAlert, and we're going to ask you how to do that. But also, I guess you should put all that information in, otherwise it doesn't do any good, correct?
That's absolutely right, and there are several ways to get ShakeAlert-powered alerts on your cell phone. There are actually several providers. And you can actually learn more about that if you follow us on Twitter at USGS_ShakeAlert. You can learn about how to get alerts on your phone. Actually, our tweets that we put out tonight have a link to where you can get various products. But you're right, you have to set everything up in order to get that alert.
We understand this particular earthquake was on the Rogers Creek Fault, and we're told that that is the northern arm of the Hayward Fault. What does that suggest in terms of whether or not there could be more activity on the Hayward Fault because some of the tension has now been released to the north?
Well, this remains to be seen. There's about a 5% chance of an earthquake, a larger event after this event over the next several days, and so it remains to be seen. This earthquake is typical California type earthquakes, magnitude 4, magnitude 3, but there is about a 5% chance that this will be followed by a larger event in the next several days, based on what we know about earthquakes in California.
Can you talk about what you want to learn from this particular quake? I imagine every time there's a significant quake that you study this. Has there been a quake, a sizable quake on this portion of the Rogers Creek Fault recently?
Well, so you're asking lots of really good questions, and I think there's always something to learn from all earthquakes that we have. And also, particularly working with ShakeAlert, there's a lot that we can learn about the system and how to improve ShakeAlert as we continue to operate the system with real earthquakes, right? And so a very large earthquake happened on this fault back in 1868, but you know, every earthquake teaches us something new.
So had this quake been much deeper, what might we have seen happen this evening?
Well, for one thing, if the earthquake was deeper, it would have taken us longer to detect the earthquake once it reached the surface. It might have also resulted in different shaking distributions at the surface as well. So it would have likely been the same size earthquake if it were deeper. I mean, depth is one factor, but the critical pieces that people felt on the surface would have been different. And so that would have probably changed the distribution of shaking around that quake.
Well, the people in Santa Rosa definitely felt it because they thought it was bigger than a 4.4, and we have at least one report of somebody down in San Bruno, 50, 60, 70 miles from Santa Rosa, feeling this quake. I imagine you're getting reports where people can go online and tell us if they felt it. Can you tell how wide of an area people felt this particular quake?
Yeah, so we are getting lots of reports to our Did You Feel It reports, and we've gotten thousands of reports from people already, over close to 5,000 reports so far, and it's a pretty wide distribution of people who felt it.
I'm just curious, how far out from Santa Rosa did they feel it all the way down to San Jose, perhaps, or farther?
Potentially. It depends where you are. If you're in a building and you're on the second floor, sometimes you feel shaking in higher floors in a building. It depends what kind of ground you're standing on. You could feel it. I mean, the 1989 Loma Prieta earthquake happened in Santa Cruz, and people in Oakland felt it, and that's like, what, 60 miles away. And so, yeah, there probably were people who felt this earthquake fairly far away. I was speaking to someone from your station when I got on for the interview, and he felt the shaking at your studio.
Right. Yeah, we felt it here.
Yeah. Well, we certainly appreciate your time this evening. Robert Michael de Groot with the USGS. You are the ShakeAlert System Coordinator, and the more of us who get that alert when something like this happens, the better. So thank you for your work.